Hey guys, Noel here, and I got to have the very cool opportunity to once again be interviewed on the Talking Fun with Edo podcast, this time with my fellow traveler in International Channel fandom, International Channel for Life. So sit back and enjoy my interview and International Channel for Life's interview on the Talking Fun with Edo podcast on the Noel ComiX YouTube channel and the Eddie Coco YouTube channel, Edo's second YouTube channel. Until next time, guys, my name is Noel. You take care, and I will see you in the very near future. Bye bye.
I dedicate this video to my good friend Sheik, aka Chiron, and Andrew, because it's now been 2 years since we made our own podcast called the Shonen Learning Podcast, where we did together. And I want to thank these guys so much about this is how I started the podcast. Do you guys have any congratulation messages before any of this? You guys have?
Hey man, look, doing social media and performance and having the gift of gab, that is a special thing. Many people have tried, many people have failed. So if you're succeeding at it, and it sounds like you are, that's phenomenal. So just keep up the good work, and I can't wait to hear what you got in store for the future.
Yeah.
What about you, Mister?
この後す
what about you,
ぐ
my new friend?
Yeah, do you want to know why Cartoon Network and G4 is failing? It's because the stuff that we're doing right here. This is the reason. This is the future. This is what's going to become the future of television and entertainment, pretty much.
Talking Fun with Edo Podcast.
Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone. It's Podcast Edo, back at it again with another video. And for today's episode is going to be Noel ComiX. But not only just that, it's going to be the Q&A session along with the International Channel for the very first time. And also, thank this second late anniversary of our Learning Shonen podcast, as you guys saw from the beginning. And as usual, let's move on to the interview with this sound once again of the warning sound, because you already know what it is during the spooky season. So now let's officially start with the interview.
Hello, everyone. It's Edo 4, and I'm back with another podcast episode with my guest, Noel ComiX, and the very first time, International Channel known as Edward. Hello.
Hi. Nice to be here.
And also, this is your very first time we're getting to see him in person. Definitely. Yep. So, are you guys really big into Minecraft at any chance?
Minecraft? No. Sorry.
Well, my son is big into it. I'm not opposed to it. I like it. I've used it to teach because I'm a social studies teacher when I'm not making fun YouTube videos about the International Channel and various forms of nonsense. So I like Minecraft. I just don't play a lot of it. But my son has it on the Switch, and it's the Mario version, so it's super cool. It plays like the N64 music all the time.
Gotcha. So the reason why I mention it is because there was unfortunately, in unfortunate news, there was like a big YouTuber named now I remember. Okay, Technoblade. He unfortunately passed away from cancer, and he was like really big into the Minecraft and YouTube community. So one of his best friends was named Dream, and he officially did a face reveal. That's why I mentioned it. But unfortunately, he got backlash because it was like they were calling him ugly. And I was like looking at it, and as it's being shown, it's like, that's not ugly. What are y'all talking about?
International Channel looks like, and this is a high compliment, could be on Generation X dramatic comedy Money. All right, you could absolutely be dating Danita, like right with the rest of the cast right there. So, very good, very good. Are you Filipino?
Yeah, I already told you. I told you that back a long time ago.
Yeah, I forgot. And then And then I looked at you and I'm like, oh, you look Filipino.
One more thing I'm gonna add for the Minecraft thing is I saw a meme where basically they're in Germany and the son wanted Minecraft and the grandfather actually gave the son Mein Kampf and then the father was saying he asked for Minecraft. Like, what is wrong with you? I honestly
It's like the worst Minecraft mod ever.
like all like, what is this? This is not what I asked for at
It's
all.
like the angry rantings of a failed painter. Like, what is
Yeah. All right, now
okay. In full objectivity, and Hitler's the worst person ever. But I didn't mind his paintings. I thought they were kind of interesting. You know?
No.
I liked his paintings. They had kind of like I don't know. They look kind of comic booky, and I mean that in a good way.
Right.
You know, so.
I know. I also kept thinking that all the time. It's just like, dang, if only if the art world could have accepted them.
I saw a really funny meme about that, and it was like painting before 1933, and it was all like realistic, and then it was like painting after 1950, and it's all abstract. And the last part of the meme is like, okay, now everyone can get into art school. Like, no one gets like mad and goes psycho anymore. So
Right. So now we have our questions from my subscribers, along with my shared subscriber from my very first guest, the 818. And the first question we have is from Fritz the Frog. And it has asked us, do you guys have any pets? And if so, what type of pets do you both have?
Okay.
Well, you go first.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I have pets. I have all these stray cat pets. They're like all stray cats. I didn't get them like by myself. They just like one day it was like started like in a rainy day, 2007. There was like an old mother cat was just hanging around, and then all of a sudden she just started to give birth. And from their point on, we just got all these cats, and now they're like hanging around being freeloaders, and they're really awesome right now. So yeah, I have cats. It's like 4 of them right now, and we're just trying to do our best to take care of them right now.
How about you, Mr. Noel?
Well, I do not have any pets. However, on the topic of cats, when I went to SUNY Binghamton for my graduate school, I lived in a house with a 30-pound cat and her daughter, and I was very close to those cats. And then when I moved, I felt really bad because like I would live in Binghamton like 5 days a week and come back to Cortland on the weekends. So I'd spent like 3 years with these cats. They were functionally my pets, and like when I kind of finally figured out the dating scene, one of the cats was like pretty attached to me, so she was like very mean to any girl I brought back home. So it was
the cat kicked you out.
Yeah.
The cat was like mean to the girl. Like it was it's not good. So.
Is it the same person you have now as your wife, or is it a different?
Yeah,
person?
her and another girl that I mean, this guy's pretty.
She was jealous. Only
no,
have.
like I was a very late bloomer to the dating thing, but once I did, it worked out well. But like, I'm just saying, like, so like my last year in Binghamton, like if I ever brought someone back to the apartment, it was like the Precious was not happy about it, and Mocha, the fat one, Mocha was like legit, like morbidly obese. I mean, it was like the Bart Simpson that washed himself with a rag on a stick.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cat. She was adorable. I mean, like she was really, really fat. Like this is like kind of like a bummer, but like the neighbor died one time, and the neighbor died when I was at class, and I came back to class, and the cop thought that my landlady domesticated a raccoon. Like he didn't think it was actually a cat. They had to explain this is actually a cat that just was very fat. Like, but to IC's point over here, like it was a foundling, and once she realized she got it good, she knew never to wander out of the house, and just realized she just chilled and got fat and relaxed, that was the rest of her life. So
Right. For my story, like I've mentioned from my Meanie Money video, link below with a lot of other things. I've previously had a dog named Mika. Fun fact enough, it was like resonating of a person that was also both mixed. So that I've had a dog, and of course we had, like I said, had a bunny, and we're just gonna leave it there. And so now our next question comes from Kids to Production, and they have asked, is there any new video coming up for both of your channels? For you guys, is there any new video coming up soon?
Yeah, well, for me, it's like I am running out of like IC stuff, but I'm going to try my best to upload more IC stuff. I actually have like one of the interesting things I actually have like the last episode of Dragon Ball GT on the Cartoon Network broadcast, and also one from the international channel. But of course, you know how YouTube is with their copyright regimes and all that stuff. I don't think I can upload them, but for the time being, I'm going to try to upload at least some commercials and maybe some documentaries. So check out on that for later on.
that's
It's
awesome.
fine.
Well, what I normally do for content is I like to try to do various video game reviews. Oh, Santino's here. What the heck? Santino's here.
Hello.
Well, it's interesting. He's talking about like future projects or things like that. So Santino and I, in addition to, like every, like I'll try to do like a review or two every, week or so for just games that I like. But what's really cool is that, since I like to live stream, now that Santino's getting a little older, he's hopping in on the live streams when he's awake, and we're starting to do more video game reviews together. So we're starting to get to do some father-son collaborations, which is a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
And he's
I
great,
haven't seen the videos, but my God, it looks so beautiful, man. It's just like the best father and son bonding like I've ever seen.
I love it. Yeah, he's the best. And we've got a little sister as well. And actually, you talked about Minecraft. Santino, I let him kind of lead the review for the Mario Minecraft creative mode.
I hit that.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. And his sister actually hopped in too. On the international channel stuff, since
wait, now we're on the camera.
Yeah, no, I am. It's right there. So on the topic of international channel stuff, I now am in the throes of the school year, and for all the cool stuff I have in my game room, have the shittiest laptop that's ever existed. It's literally in 5 pieces and held together with duct tape. And I every so often when I get some downtime, I just pull out the stacks of tapes and try to rip off the capture card and rip it to the capture card. So, if I just get some downtime, I'll just like thumb through the tapes on the live streams that, international channel stops by, and, you've stopped by here and there. Usually like the last hour or so, we're just going through random old tapes and just chatting about them and laughing about stuff. We actually watched in bits and pieces. Like we just finished watching Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins, which was the 1992 Taiwanese live action Dragon Ball movie that was on the international channel.
Oh yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah, that was great. So and every once in a while, if I'm feeling particularly inspired, mommy blocked baby. That's okay. That way she won't climb up the stairs.
Yeah,
Rumble Butterball.
I was just gonna get something that I can sit in.
Oh sure, yeah, hang on, man. Absolutely. Yeah, dude. So just if I find some time, I'll upload a tape. If I I've also been, uploading, some wrestling reviews or things like that. If I'm feeling particularly ranty about something that's happening in AEW or back in the day with WCW. So, yeah, that was a long answer to a short question. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
And if you guys have like a microphone like you in the middle.
Adam's a pro. He's got a mic.
Wait, what's going on?
Like one of my favorite YouTubers has a mic.
Nice, yes.
And it's the Frustrated Gamer.
Brandon, the Frustrated Gamer.
Yeah, I have like this old headset.
Every day.
I'm really cheap. Hold on a second.
I got nothing. I just have a nice phone. That's all I got, man.
So Brandon does a new video every day and does a live stream every.
Sorry about
Very
that.
good.
It's okay.
Life interrupted.
It's okay. What happened just now?
No, it's like my mom came in, asked me what she wants to buy for. I think we're probably going to get McDonald's again, but I probably better ask about that trick and treat stuff that Noel mentioned in his last live stream or something. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually one of the questions we're about to
go into.
smaller
than the old one, but still gets the job done. Does not have the plastic top, which is kind of a ripoff, but it will definitely meet the needs for both trick or treating and
Yeah.
I legit got this last night, so
yeah.
Genuine.
That is why someone was just telling me about this.
And this is Santino.
Yeah, that's
the go to the classic. That's the
this
classic.
is his personal one. This is Santino. This is the one that you get off McDonald's right here. So.
Yeah. You know that they're coming with the adult meals now?
This one.
Nice. You do that. We'll keep this.
Oh God, they just have 4
Yeah,
eyes.
we'll use
It's
that
like that's not McDonald's. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
But okay. Speaking of Halloween, that is actually funny because that was one of our next questions from Lena Chan and ADP was
I'm gonna find something that's a little taller.
Santino, you can't talk when he's asking the questions. Okay. All right. That's okay.
So Lena Chan and ADP asked, is Noel going to do anything like join a Halloween party in New York? And is International Channel for Life is going to do anything in doing this time and all?
For myself, I'm probably just going to be working because since I work at a theme park and everything's Halloween themed, so that's probably like the closest thing to it. So that's pretty much it. I'm not really the biggest Halloween person, and like it's been like a long time. You know, the older you get, the less meaning and impact it has. But you know, I don't criticize those who still want to like do it. You know, so that's my question on my end. I mean, my answer on my end.
By the way, like before, can you just say what park you're working at, or is that like?
Yeah, it's a Great America. It's Cedar Fair. Unfortunately, it's going to close like within 11 years for some reason. But yeah, it's pretty much like that's the theme park I'm working at.
Gotcha. How about you, Noah? Are you going out on Halloween or anything like that this year in New York?
I live in New York State, which is kind of distinct from New York City. So I feel like a lot of time when I say like, hey, I live in New York, some people who are abroad think I'm cooler than I actually am. Because I live in the part of New York with a lot of squirrels and not a lot of people. Which I actually prefer because I like where I live. It's got a nice spectrum of opinion and just the people of various backgrounds. It's kind of fun. That said, I'm going to take my kids trick-or-treating around where my mom lives. It's a very well populated trick-or-treating spot, so they'll see grandma and grandpa and get some trick-or-treating done. And then I am a teacher, so I am going to dress up as something for school. I'm thinking probably Luigi from Super Mario.
That movie coming out.
If I'm feeling froggy, I like the 5 o'clock shadow, but if I wanted to go for the more authentic look, I could just grow the mustache and ruin my look. But I don't know if I want to do that or not.
You guys excited for the new movie for Mario coming out?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't even know there was a new movie coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing like people were really upset was like Charles Monet could like he's in it, but it's like he wasn't really the main guy. You know, that was a big thing. But honestly, if we could talk about the other movie, I'm like, well, you know what? This is actually a big step up.
You know,
big step up from the '90s. So
I have that on DVD, and I've never watched it. Like, I remember the commercials for it. I love the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. That's like one of my all-time favorite things.
Right.
But I never saw the one with Ed Haskins, and
yeah.
I saw the first Sonic the Hedgehog CG movie, and that was phenomenal. I did not see the second one. And Santino and I were just watching a trailer for the Mario movie, and it looked nice. So I'm pretty.
Right.
We're gonna go see it.
The voice was kind of screwed up.
You thought the voice was screwed up? I didn't actually. Let me put it this way. The trailer I saw did not have Chris Pratt talking, so I don't know. So he's seen probably more than I have. So
yeah, okay. This question.
Mario, I want Super Mario.
Right on, right. Okay, so if Edo's talking, you can't talk, okay? Because he's doing the interview, all right? All right.
Okay, so the next one comes from the Thai Train, and this person has asked Noel ComiX specifically, do you stream every other day or every other week?
I try to stream at least once a week, usually on Fridays or Saturdays. Every once in a while, I'll stream on a weekday if I'm a public school teacher, so 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, I'm usually doing school stuff. But if there is a day off of school and I'm particularly well rested, when the family goes to sleep, I like to stream. Also, during the weekend days, if Santino's got nothing going on and he asks me, sometimes we've been doing a couple day streams. So that's been kind of fun. But usually my streams happen Friday and Saturday nights, starting, between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, and then go to like 2 a.m.
Right, I feel you. So you guys basically have answered the question from Daisy Dino. So our next question comes from James Gilbert for International Channel. International Channel was when did you create the YouTube channel, and what was the first video that you ever uploaded on your channel?
It's been a while now, so it's been almost a year, since the start of 2020, since I started the IC International Channel for Life channel, and it was responding to basically Noel and stuff. So it's kind of hard. I used to forgot what video I actually that was actually the first video, but I would say it was either the KTEH video or the PBS video of the Tinty Muyo closing, or either it's either the Sting that Sting commercial from 1996 on TNT, which is one of my most popular videos. It's probably either one of those. But sometimes when the stuff that I uploaded, sometimes I wouldn't be satisfied with the quality, and I would just try to re-upload them from time to time just to re-ensure the quality. So it's probably it's either one of those videos.
So next comes from my very first interview that I ever had of all time, named the Aim Pay 18, and he has asked both of you guys, and also for your son, if he would like to join in, what is your favorite television show? Just of any time, what's your favorite television show?
For myself, there's a really lot to talk, about, but I guess from right off the bat, started from off the cuff, I would say Dragon Ball Z. It's basic. It's generic, but at least that's the only one show, the only one anime that I could watch every single version, no matter how bad, from every single country.
Right.
No, every single remix, I could watch it, and the story will just be so okay. You could rape it, you could brutalize it as much as you want. It would still look good. No matter what, you cannot destroy this show. And that's the
One question for that is, for the Dragon Ball Z, are you talking about the OG Japanese version or
Yeah.
the English
Yeah,
version?
yeah, I like the. Oh, I am like really nostalgic for like the really English version. That's like even the really English bad, the one where Tien says, where like they blew up the well, they said a cargo road, but there was people in there, and then Tien said, "Oh, I see their parachutes. They're okay." I'm really nostalgic for that version, but even multiple versions, like I really like have a fondness for them. So like, yeah, when you say Dragon like extra version, I guess you could probably say like all versions and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially the. Yeah, have you watched it in the Filipino version as well? Have you
Oh
watched it?
yeah.
Yeah. So you've done it all. All right. Now to Noel, and also for your son, if you would like to join in, what is you guys' favorite television shows?
Oof, that's a really tricky question. I also would say that Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime, and that is the show that got me into Japanese anime because even before I would even watch the episodes, when I got International Channel and I watched the opening credits of Hinorobu Kageyama's Head Chala, I would just I knew every Saturday at 7:30 to turn on channel 75 because I could watch the opening credits of Dragon Ball Z, and whether or not I was going to sit through the whole episode or not, because I didn't quite get the whole awesomeness of anime yet. I wanted to see that opening because it really caught my attention, and from there, this was a rabbit hole that got me into loving anime. I'm also what you want to go?
Probably Dragon Ball Superhero.
Dragon Ball Superhero. We see that movie twice in the theaters.
That
That's
is
a good movie.
that movie. That's the best one.
That's a phenomenal movie.
Gotcha.
And probably
and it highlights my favorite character, Gohan, who is confirmed as the strongest non-fused Dragon Ball Z character and super character. It's true. That's what it is.
Even my favorite Piccolo.
And or Piccolo is orange now. Your favorite.
Piccolo, yes. Oh yeah.
His favorite color is orange. He likes orange.
Definitely. For me, it's literally the show based on my name, and we'll be touching into the show where it was made later on. Ed and Nettie, this was like one of my very favorite shows, and I think probably second show because I believe my very first was Hamtaro, which 20 years ago, and I remember one of your videos, which will be in the link below, talked about the Asian invasion, and that 20 years ago, and that's when I caught it, and it was that, and another thing that was definitely that, I'm not sure if you guys heard of it, it was a PBS show called Sagwa, about the Chinese cat, and it was made by the person who made the Joy Luck Club, the movie and book.
I've heard of that movie, but I never seen that show before.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's the same. It was interesting. I was like, wow, she made this, and that was pretty much my first, I guess, my first appearance of Asia. More likely, of course, the video I've done earlier this year, Coco Lee. So now let me see here. Yeah, okay. Now our second to last question that we have is from the Splash Down Dolphin. And it has asked us what type of video games that Noel ComiX played. And where is, not location, but what state does International Channel for Life lives in?
Okay. California, the worst state in the world right now.
So right now, what's going on?
Oh God, haven't you heard? Have you been living under a rock?
The last thing I heard, unfortunately, was just the homeless situation, but that's about it.
Yeah, too many lists.
Way worse than I thought. I guess besides homelessness, Yes, I probably have been living under a rock, but. Oh, you could also join in this question too. What would be your favorite type of video game you like to play?
Well, genre-wise, it probably would be like fighting games right now. The latest I actually played was like Dead or Alive 6, which has a bad DLC racket, and of course, some RPGs. I'm still trying to wait until they actually get the latest installment of the FF7 remake. Which I don't know if they're going to actually release that yet, but those are the type of games that I'm playing right now.
All right. How about you, Noel? What is your favorite? What is what's your favorite type of games? And also, once
Well,
again, your son could join in.
yeah. So my favorite type of game, I have a pretty broad spectrum of games that I like. It's more of the stuff that was popular in like what I guess would be considered like the retro times, like 80s and
Right.
90s.
Yeah.
So like International Channel 4 Life. If I'm looking to just kind of like do a pick up and play and relax, it's a fighting game. Those are the types of games that I find really, really enjoyable. Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Tekken, random Neo Geo fighters, things like that, Virtua Fighter. So I love those types of games, particularly of Japanese origin, because they do a great job with the music and the character design and just the general aesthetic and combination of things. I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Sonic the Hedgehog's like my favorite video game character. So I love the 2D Sonics. Sega CD, Mega CD, Sega Genesis. I like
Sega
Sonic
Saturn.
3. I like Sonic 3 Blast. I think that game is grossly underrated. It's not as good as the 2D Sonics because like those games have to do such a great job of like combining music, character design, energy, flow, like kind of reaction, like Twitch reaction kind of times, timing. So I mean, I like Mario too, but I think Sonic is a much more like evocative and artistic experience. I love my Famicom, so I like 80s anime games on the Famicom. Dragon Quest, Mighty Final Fight, Donkey Kong 3, Mario 3, Final Fantasy 3. You know, I'll just any anime game I can find on the Famicom, I buy. I've got so many I'm having a hard time even like narrowing it all down. For modern stuff, Santino told me to download Fortnite, and I've been having some fun messing around with that. And my students think it's fun that I play that. I'm not good at it.
Have you got that skin yet?
I've never won a battle royal. I made it the top 2 the last time, and I want this anime skin. And I'm so naive. Like to me, like the whole like racket of like downloading skins and stuff. I'm so used to just buying a game and having it being complete that it's like someone's like, we'll just buy the skin. It's $30. Like, no, I'm not spending $30 on an anime skin. I spent $30 on this hat. You know, but so,
you
like,
only spend dollars on half of a hat. Like if you wore a visor, like George Carlin, it's like finish the rest of the hat.
Yeah, it's like we're not doing that. So, Samurai Pizza Cats on the Famicom. I was that the other day with Santino. That's a phenomenal game.
That was golden.
Oh, man, I missed that show so much.
The game is really good. The game is like straight up one of the most accessible NES Famicom games. It's got big bold sprites. It's easy. It's fun. It's got a password system. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Famicom.
Definitely, it's funny that when they made the script in English, they literally were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna guess. We're not even gonna go by the script."
I've heard that.
The whole thing. And did you like the Dreamcast as well? I remember.
I love it. I love Dreamcast. So I have a VGA Trinitron monitor, and I have my Dreamcast hooked up to that. That thing is like phenomenal looking on that thing. It's like better than 4K. My favorite Dreamcast games are Street Fighter Alpha 3, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dead or Alive 2. I love Sonic Adventure. That's a cool game, but I haven't like mastered it or anything like that. Shenmue. I love that game on the Dreamcast. Street Fighter 3. I love those games. I think those games were definitely ahead of their time. They were beautifully drawn. I really like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game. The other anime I was going to talk about is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because that and Dragon Ball have the hugest influence on my art, along with like Jim Lee and Roy Lichtenstein. So, in Archie Comics. So I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's phenomenal.
I got a lot to make. I got.
You want to talk about a couple of your favorite games?
2D Sonic 3D Sonic, Mario, 2D Mario, or Go Fit, anything that's either Sonic, Mario, or anything else that's kind of like related to Nintendo or voice something that's like was on the Switch and then I like play it like we just beat Sonic Mania and Sonic Mania was on the Switch, so that's why I just played it. It's because it was on the Switch.
We beat Sonic Mania last night. Me and you're just hanging out.
Nice. It's nice to really see the gamer community of like father to son. It's just hand it on.
He saved my butt, man. I was
the
out
next
of the race.
gamer
He
for
was
life.
Tails.
Sure. Especially
He was Tails. He could
like
take
one
the extra hit. I couldn't. I was hiding in the
Oh
corner.
man!
He was
Look out!
the last hit to beat Eggman.
International.
So
Not Edwards. I mean international of the whole world. Like, look out! This
Okay.
Because since Shields is fight, that's really good. Because even if you get hit once, the other time you can hit them, and it's like enough time to hit them.
Tails is invincible.
It's kind of out of control a little bit since you have a flying system, but still, though, it kills his bullet against
Nice
him.
work, man. All right.
For Edward, for our last question for International Channel for Life, we got two from Blue Hawaii Ghana Mascots and Paula, and they have asked that because you're called International Channel for Life, do you speak other languages? And how did you come up with the name International Channel for Life?
I don't really speak any other languages for right now. I'm trying to learn Tagalog, which is like the native language of my native Philippines, or like where my parents born Philippines. But I think I kind of, for myself, I think I kind of know a little bit of Japanese since I've been listening to Japanese dialogue for like over 20 years. But you know, like when someone would say if I understand Japanese, I would tell them "wakarimasen," which means I don't understand.
I don't understand. Yeah.
And then so as for the international channel, I just actually started using that name at the spur of the moment because I was watching Noel ComiX live stream, and then he kind of noticed there was like one viewer, and I think I was that one viewer who was like watching him, and then I decided I'm gonna try to like start a YouTube channel and then try to interact with him, and I just out of random just start International Channel for Life because for life was like the saying of like the NWO, the best wrestling stable of all time. Yeah, for life, and then that's how the rest of it goes. That's how it is.
Okay. So
let me just add something real quick to that, because there have been times, because I don't speak any Japanese at all, but I love Japanese stuff. And there have been times when I've like emailed or messaged International Channel because he's got some elementary Japanese, and we've like had to like figure out song titles and stuff like that. Because if I find like a commercial in Japan and it's only got like the Romanji or whatever on the bottom, it's like I can't read any of it. I usually rely on him to decipher enough of it to point me in the direction to figure some stuff out. So we just found, like with his help, I found like a Tomoko Aran song for I think it was like Camellia Diamond.
Oh, yes.
And it had like a great commercial, really pretty blonde girl, and there was this like broken down Greek statue, and like she was like had like the face next to her face, and it had this like really cool song, and I was able to get like the whole song on my channel and do some fan art of it because of his translation skills.
Yeah, but we can't find the Game Boy song, and that's even in English.
That is. I've got a lead on that. I don't know how good it is, but Miki Yoshino, the guy who did the music to Kenny Lauderdale's Kentoshi anime that he was complaining about, I should say. Like I Instagrammed him because if you guys don't know, like I dabble in lost media, and the song that I can't find for the life of me, and I've looked up some obscure crap, okay, I mean crap in a nice way, right, is the original Japanese commercial to the Game Boy. It's like inspired by Stand By Me, the movie that was very popular in Japan apparently, and it's got these these three kids. They're like probably like 9.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. they're kind of hitchhiking in the Australian Badlands, whatever. And there's this beautiful song sung in English by a guy that sounds like Randy Newman or Michael Bolton. And it's like, searching for good times, how can I forget you? And it's like, and then it starts talking in like Japanese, showing the features of the Game Boy, and then it like hits this chorus, and it's like, I wander, we wander, and it's like, and it's like, it's really, really cool and interesting. And if you like even go to those videos, like everyone, because in Japanese commercials they usually put the song title on there in the corner,
right? Yeah,
and they don't have that in that Game Boy commercial. So the Kenny Lauderdale, super famous obscure anime YouTuber, his most recent video, guy I love Kenny, he was complaining about this boxing anime called Kentoshi, which I like every part that I've seen of that, by the way. But there's a song in Kentoshi called He the Fighter. And like the singer sounds a lot like the guy in the Game Boy commercial. So I messaged him on Instagram and I said, is it you that sang the Game Boy commercial? And he hearted the comment. I don't know what that means. I'm like, because I said, I know you sung He the Fighter and I like that song a lot, which I can't find a complete version of that song on anywhere. But the bits of it that I've seen of it, I like. And I said, did you also sing this Game Boy song? Because it sounds a lot like it. And he just hearted the comment. And that's all that I know. So that's my biggest.
I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to go ahead and be like, yes, I'm the guy. I would just say if he's going to like it to that point, and I mean, honestly, I guess maybe if it helps, maybe like I'll help you to even translate that. Wait, did you put it in English or in Japanese?
I put it in English. And
no, okay. If you probably need more help on that, I'll help you like translate it. So it could be like, listen, I understand that I got a heart. I just need to know if you're the guy. But I'm going to believe yes if he's gonna be like, yeah, I hearted it. So now we have gotten into the Q&A session of our story. Now we're going to learn a little bit more about Noel's comment and our friend Edward from International Channel. So Noel, can you believe it's been a year since we have done like this video? Can you believe it?
No.
It's been exactly a year. Like, do you have like a favorite part from your unit? Now, I remember definitely, and that's gonna, like I said, with a lot of links, we're gonna be sharing that too. Is your version, because there was certain stuff I couldn't put on because of space and stuff like that, but definitely, what was your favorite part of the interview that we did a year ago? What was your favorite part?
Honestly, I don't know if this sounds like stupid or not, but like I just like talking.
Go ahead, man.
I like talking with you about stuff. Like there's not a lot of people that know about the International Channel. They don't know about like early 2000s K-pop or J-pop. They're not, like some people don't even know there's some people who like don't know who Kenny Lauderdale is. There's like, you are like into the same type of stuff that I was into, and I could have a relaxing conversation with someone who liked the same stuff that I liked. And so that was just fun for me. And I like to talk. So I just got to talk about stuff that I like, so that was the most, and it was the first time I'd ever actually been interviewed about my channel, which was an honor, and it was fun.
Really?
And I liked it.
It was me?
Yeah, it was
like,
you,
not no one else, just me.
Nope, you're the
That's
one.
Crazy. And
you broke the wall down, and then I see International Channel, the Edward man.
It's like the first time. It's crazy. Wow, Edward, do you have like a favorite part that? And it could be from both, like, my version and his version of the video. Like, what was it's both, like, what was like your favorite part of the video when this was going on?
I think it would be like the part where you laughed really hard. I think that was like, I don't know what's the segment, but you like really laughed really hard. That's the one that stuck out.
I definitely believe it was the moment where I was talking about with Noel about Revolution, where basically HOT basically had this thing where it's like the host was basically saying, listen, you guys need to stop everybody got so mad. They got for some they got big mad. So they they were just so big, and it's just like, how dare you? How dare you tell us that we can't? Even though it's the same thing over and over, but it was the moment where that's how big they really were. And speaking of which, the next biggest thing that's really big in the Korean market right now is of course, right now, BTS. It gives the BTS army a whole brand new meaning because those that don't know, when Korean men reach a certain age of teenagers or something like that, before I believe my age or something like that, they got to join the military. So that's why they're pretty much now going to be called BTS Army for real. And next year is going to be their very 10th anniversary when they started off. And let me tell you, I'm not saying that they did more than anyone else. I'm not here to say that. I am here to say that they really did a lot in 10 years, especially having their presence not only known in Korea, but definitely outside, and even, where your family is from. I definitely believe they visit the Philippines from time to time, maybe, but definitely they did a lot. They did. I would say I don't know if you guys have a favorite song from them, but mine is definitely not just Dynamite, but it's definitely Say No. And Mike dropped the remix featuring the rapper Designer and, of course, the DJ Steve Aoki. That's when I basically came into the game in 2017. But I've heard about them, but that's like my favorite song is Everybody Say No and Mike Drop. Do you guys have favorite songs from BTS of a tribute for them at all?
Me for myself, I haven't been keeping up with K-pop since like pretty much the international channel ended. But one thing I noticed is like since I actually watched the MTV Music Awards this year, I noticed like Blackpink was in there, and I thought that was like really interesting, like how far have K-pop has gone a long way, and then it kind of sucks that they don't acknowledge guys like Noel and me for like actually putting it where like we knew it like when it was like cool and stuff.
I know,
I think they should give us a little more credit, right? Yeah.
I mean, definitely, this is what we're here for. And on that note, I know before Noah didn't even answer. I don't know if he has a favorite song. Do you, or you
from BTS?
Yeah.
I am a little. Dude, like it's so weird. Like for me, like 10 years ago, feels like 2 weeks ago. So like I don't even know, man. Like I don't have a favorite BTS song. Everything I've seen of them, I think, is like pretty cool. I see them on New Year's Rockin' Eve. I see them at McDonald's on the drive-through.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
which
that.
is phenomenal. I think that's like awesome. I mean, like, as far as like, this is like probably about like a 10-plus-year-old song, more so. I remember on my old on my old iMac computer, I have Big Bang and 21 doing a song called Lollipop. That's a quality. Yeah. Oh, Baby's in here. All right, Baby. All right, come here, you.
Hello.
You want to say good night? You want to say hi? Yeah. Yeah. You singing?
You want to say bye? Bye. Say good night.
You want to say bye?
Yeah.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah,
I like Kara a lot too.
Kara.
They're good.
That was the song from. Oh, the group Kara. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So I mean that's kind of where I like. There is a K culture channel on Pluto TV, and they were showing live music performance shows, and I was watching it, and I really liked it. But I did not see enough of those episodes when they were showing them to be able to get the stuff like drilled into my head, so I could like start saying artists.
Right.
I remember liking a lot of performances.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely happy of like how it's been going down to, and I really do applaud you guys for like finding stuff like it, especially since like this is when I often ask people from outside, they would often be like, "How do you guys know all this?" And it's just like, well, from my end, it's been YouTube, and especially like I said earlier this year, I did 3 Korean reports of Poinko, the twins that was produced by JYP called Raha and Rahang. and definitely my very first K-pop artist of all time, SES. Not all time, but like the very first ones I've seen. And
SES is great.
definitely like a shout out to Midnight Theories, the K-pop Midnight Theories for her doing the whole report of Baby VOX, Baby Vox. They were definitely one of the very first of female Asian artists. They got a lot of things going on, but they really ventured through it, and I applaud for them. And Poopy 678 for now. Unfortunately, I don't know if this video is going to come back probably by this release or not. But she did a video where she talked about the fan wars of Sex Kiss versus HOT. And that was really, and she, for this, you know, they have colors of who they represent. She wore both white is HOT and yellow is for Sex Kiss, for saying, I support both sides. And definitely, you know, I'm happy to have seen it really gone a long way. And speaking of things that are unfortunate of like coming to an end, have you guys heard about the news of what's going on with Cartoon Network?
Nope.
No.
Well, what's going on?
They say they're closing it down. They're saying
Really? The entire Cartoon Network channel?
I kid you
Really?
not. But and it's sad because it's like literally been 30 years, even from the timing of October, 30 years. But the thing is, here's the thing. So they're still going to keep Toonami and Adult Swim. That's the big part.
Okay.
Is that they're not going to get rid of that. That's
Are those
still gonna
becoming
be there.
channels?
Huh?
What's Toonami and Adult Swim gonna be? Are they gonna be like channels or?
They're going to be in the same place. They're not going to get rid of that. They're not going to get rid of that. They're just, the thing is, what happened is that now Cartoon Network has now became a brand new thing called Warner Brothers exclusive. So I guess they're just going to put other things. I guess maybe when it first started, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't alive when Cartoon Network first debuted 30 years. I know you guys have. When Noel was definitely 10 years old when it happened. I'm not sure how old Edward was, but he was older than, you know, me for sure. But in 92, I guess they're going to go to the old thing where they have like superhero stuff. And of course, everything is like making the rounds of the new Scooby stuff. Yeah, nobody's not feeling that. No one's feeling the new Scooby-Doo series because the stuff has changed once again.
Of course.
But
That's a whole can of worms.
But that's what's going on with now. Literally, Toonami and Adult Swim, it'll still stay the same, but they're changing the platform to now like Warner Brothers. So I guess what they're gonna have now is like which Black Adam. That's that Adult Swim and Toonami. That's the only thing they got at the moment. So now they're just gonna switch gears and be like, now we're gonna throw Scooby Doo. And now the superheroes, like literally the very first time they had it. So Hanna-Barbera stuff, and it really made me confused because I was like, I thought this was Warner Brothers from the start, but now it was really like, yeah, we're gonna go back to Scooby-Doo and basically, what was it? The superhero stuff. That's basically what. So now all the other, so even from now for HBO Max, any of those shows, it's gone unless you have a DVD or VHS. I don't know what to say. I'm guessing Hulu and possibly Netflix still has it. And, you know, earlier this year in Russia during the thing, they took it. So they took it off way before but so the other stuff of Cartoon Network is still there. But unfortunately, you know, all the cartoon shows that was there, it isn't going to be, there's not a release date, but it is happening this year. And I've heard that you have a response. What would you about to say, Noel? What's happening?
Well, I'm just wondering, is that with this new format, are they actually going to put Toonami on at a decent time? Like, Toonami thrived when it was on weekday afternoons after school. You know what I'm saying? Like, 5 to 7. You know, like, once they started messing around, putting, like, stuff on in the middle of the night on Saturdays,
Friday,
like that, it's like, dude, I'm not. And the thing is, too, it's like, I mean, if they were showing the stuff that, you know, International Channel is nostalgic for, and myself, like Dark Wing, Tenchi Muyo, Outlaw Star, you know, that kind of stuff, I would watch that on a Saturday night. And I got nothing against Boruto or anything like that, but
of course.
I'm just not I'm not going to seek that out at like 2:00 in the morning when I'm going to be streaming with my friends here, so, but if you put it on at a better time, in a better time slot, I think that would be at least something, you could do. If they're going to keep Toonami around, start, do Toonami in its old time slot where it was actually successful, and the other thing I would say, is that I feel like, and I could be off on this because I didn't see a lot of it, but it seemed like Cartoon Network got to be very Tumblr-esque, get that very, very kind of weird, woke, not that there's anything wrong with being like progressive or anything, but it was like very identity politics-ish kind of that vibe.
They lost allegiance with the fans. That vibe. That was the thing I noticed about the time I noticed this. I'm guessing I would notice this, I guess, because I was younger. I'm younger at this rate. I've noticed this has happened, I believe, maybe by after their 20th anniversary. So probably around 2014 or 2015, and it was just like, hey, this ain't the same anymore. Like that was pretty much the rate where, now I do have friends of mine that was still watching it through, but I was pretty much like, I'm gonna check here every now and then. But that was the moment when I'm like, hold up, after the 20th anniversary, y'all guys are slacking. What's going on?
To me, the heyday, the last high point of the Cartoon Network, and this is just my opinion, I got the regular show. I thought regular show did a good job of representing people like me, just kind of like nerdy guys, they were still guys, but they definitely were kind of quirky, and within the format of like a children's show, we're able to really get the vibe of, like a 20-something-year-old guy who's got some nerdy side, got some cool side, got some social side, got some insane side, and like, but, I don't know. The other thing too is I think the art just, and this goes to that Tumblr comment, became so simplistic. Like, like the Cartoon Network, they definitely had hyper stylized stuff like, Dexter's Laboratory and stuff like that, which is fine. But the stuff just stopped looking. It didn't have a kind of a warmth to it, or kind of a craftsmanship to it, and so I don't know. I think, it just kind of grew away from me a little bit. So it might be one of the reasons why it's going away, I guess.
Yeah. How about you, Edward from International Child? How you taking the news, my guy? Do you have a favorite show on that note?
Yeah, I'm not sure what would I say was my favorite show at Toonami or Cartoon Networks, but we were actually talking. We just actually also heard of the news of like G4 closing out, right? And so like it's kind of like
they just reopened. Yeah. They
just
reopened about a year, and then it just closed. It's funny. One of the things I think they're still here now, which was Fuse. I remember Fuse was down for a bit. And speaking of stuff shutting down, I remember there was the moment when Toonami first closed down, and I know it was, like they say, rest in peace to the OG Tom. The thing was, I was just catching into it, and the thing is, I thought it was going to be gone forever. But then about 4 years later, ironically, right now, 10 years ago, it came back, and I was like, wow, that wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be gone.
The fans did that. That like the one time the internet all agreed on something was when they did that April Fool's thing, and they actually ran the good Toonami. And everyone just got this wave of happiness, and that was a real groundswell movement to get Toonami back.
This was like my very first time. I've talked about them a year ago. My favorite group here, funny from where Edward's at in California, Tyler the Creator, Odd Future. That's actually their show 10 years ago that got me into them, and also just, filling their stuff, because they were like, just a group of guys just talk about anything and, be outlandish and free and all that stuff. Like, that was my vibe. And I'm like, this what kind of got me into listening to music, because at the time, before 2012, I was on this level of like listening to only like just Asian music, but it was the old school, but I was really trying to get into the new school. It was literally these guys that brought me back to this. And then, as of everything right now, it's like not much is going on again. But yeah, I know the news, like Cartoon Network, it's like officially like closing for 30 years. I was like, man, that's not really a long time.
Well, the other thing, I think it's two things, right? I think that
Yeah,
the art school people who kind of
right.
ended up making cartoons now,
Yeah.
they make the cartoons less relatable, less aesthetically pleasing, less
Oh,
accessible, right? Than to go with, IC's point over here, G4, right? That's a whole other conversation that's fascinating. And I've done some, weblogs about it as well, is that, the reason that Cartoon Network was successful,
right.
was, two things. They had a few things, right? They had their
Right.
reruns of Hanna-Barbera stuff, and they showed some,
Yeah.
vintage cartoons. They had their original
Like some of
cartoons
the
like
new
Johnny
stuff at
Bravo,
the
Powerpuff
time.
Girls,
Yeah.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie, those original ones that were funny, warped, but,
Yeah.
cute, right? And then they
Yeah.
had the anime, right? That was
Yes!
the experience of
Oh!
Cartoon Network,
Yes.
right? And as they drifted away from that and it became a different
Yeah.
product, they lost what was good about it. And with
Right. They
G4,
stopped
what
listening to the fans, man.
yeah. And Edward and I, when we did our interview, right? Like, he remembered G4 when it was Tech TV. Like that was when he was like more into it.
Even before the Tech
watched
TV
it
And
merger.
I
a little
remember
bit.
G4 when it was kind of like in the yeah. Like like when it was like Tech TV to G4 kind of thing. And I remember
Yeah.
G4 more when it was like the Olivia Munn Code Monkeys times. But regardless of whatever your version of G4 that you watched a lot of, this new version was not it.
It
That
wasn't
was the
doing.
problem, is that there was a
Um,
desire for those times, and
Right.
they for whatever reason, I don't know if they thought it was not woke enough or too problematic or whatever, but they didn't want to have pretty girls. Eventually they did, but it was kind of too little too late, and they didn't have not to be mean, I was like, but the hosts were not, the male hosts were not like that likable or accessible, like
Yeah.
freaking Adam Sessler. He's been going on unhinged rants on Twitter for like whatever happened to him. It's not normal, like he's been getting into fights with people, telling like mom jokes for like 72 hours. Like, what are you doing? Like, how much? Like, why would I
You're gonna
identify
ruin
with
your career. I'm gonna ruin this man's whole career.
your mom said so. Like, what? Are you 50? Are you 50? Like, what is going on?
Like,
So
I
don't know, man. And then, but the other thing to, IC's point here, because
your mama.
Your mom, yeah, because we joked a lot about Frost and things like that. Like her in like measured doses selectively, like would have been fine, but like giving her a platform to like rant and rave and attack the viewers was like not helpful
and
or anything.
it wasn't like the thing that G4 was. It's just like, wait, what's going on? Now, one thing I also remember from it, my family would actually watch. It was originally called Sasuke, Ninja Warrior, and one thing that was interesting. One thing that was interesting. Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, so the thing that was interesting is when I did my TNC Bombard report, they were on it. I was like, oh my god, they were one of the members from TNC, aka Tall Moon and Cisco Moon, because they're from Cali. Well, the group was based when they were doing the auditions and stuff, California. So one of the members, they were on Ninja Warriors, the OG before American. So
Sasuke.
Yeah, Sasuke. Yes, they were on it. Well, one of the members. Yeah. What were you about to say, my guy?
My last weblog on the death of G4. It's called like Death of G4 2.0 with Noel ComiX or whatever. I had Sasuke on in the background because I did 3 videos on G4 when it came back. Okay, the first one was about the Frost grant. The second one was about what I think they should do, and that I'm happy that I've seen some signs that they're doing it. And then the third one was they're dead. right? So on that one that they're dead, like it was the Monday after the news came out that they were done, and it was kind of like in zombie mode. It was still on Pluto TV. He just said like sign off, and all they were showing old Ninja Warrior on a loop. And I was thinking to myself, like, if you just did this, like if you just showed the old stuff
from the get-go,
show the old stuff, and then pepper in the new stuff at prime time, you know?
Yeah, that would you gotta do the entire time.
And the other thing too was like the new shows that they had. You know, like I would watch a show that Pokimane was a host on or something, or
of course.
Do it, like get these. I don't know how much they're charging or whatever, but like, you know, like the times when I would see the more popular Twitch people on there, like the pretty girls and stuff, they would be on these like weird game shows or something like that. You know, like that they would put on that would like be like there was like no end in sight to them. So it was this weird kind of streaming culture with streamers that weren't that great at streaming, or the games they were streaming weren't that good. It was just like, it was weird, man. Like it, so I mean, I would, if it were up to me, I would lean heavily on the hits, on the good stuff, and then I lean heavily on the good stuff. And then when it's time for like new episodes, like 8 o'clock rolls around or something like that, that's when you do a new X Play episode, a new Attack of the Show episode, get some video game review shows, make them a half an hour to an hour long. And if you are going to stream something, stream a variety of stuff from a variety of genres, not just like battle royale stuff, you know, with, you know, random people. You know?
Yeah, I feel you. So everybody, thank you all for your questions. And I really had a good time, not only with the first anniversary of Noel once again, but definitely with our very first guest and face reveal of International Channel for Life.
And I kind of really thank you, Noel. I can't thank you, Edo. I didn't really know. I don't put myself over that much, but the way you put me over, and then of course Diego's not here, but the way Diego was so enthusiastic about us doing this, I'm like, I feel like so kind of bad that I'm not doing his expectations. But I'm trying my best. So you know, shout out to Diego, because he was like a real fan, and also like the other people who come around here on Noel's live stream. I thank them for as well the support and all that other stuff. So yeah, thank you a lot,
Edward. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and along with my previous video coming up of basically my YouTube part 4 video of internet shutting down once again, there is another video that's going to be coming during the Halloween season, or maybe during late in the November season, of the Taiwanese and Japanese group of Black Biscuits. Thank you guys for sending in your questions. Thank you guys for so much of the support of the first anniversary of the podcast. And of course, you know, another one's going to come up next. And as usual, you know, to you all, see you later. But wait. There was one important thing we have forgot to mention. The shout outs for this episode. So the shout outs we have is not only just for the International Channel and Noel ComiX, but also to Okadawa. And also Renai Hawkins. So now, as usual, you all, I'll see you all next time. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.